Hello and welcome to the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from Northwest Community Television. Coming up, a look at what's new in Maple Grove and a recap of the council meeting. All next on the Maple Grove City Report. And thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report here in February 2014. City Administrator Al Madsen joining us. Welcome to the program, Al.
Thank you, Dave.
We've got a council meeting of about 35 minutes to talk about that we'll squeeze down within this program, and a few other things happening around town. You've got some stats and figures in front of us here with some business names. Tell us a little bit about retail and business in Maple Grove.
Well, just a few things. The former Gander Mountain Space, that's being divided up into 4 individual retail sections. And Dress Barn is going in there, and as of today, they're busy taking down the mountain and everything, you know, that Gander Mountain had their logo style, so that's underway. We have Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burger. They are going to be taking a vacant piece of land that's in the fountains. When you come into the fountains, go straight ahead, and it's right on the right-hand side corner parcel. And so they'll be coming through the approval process for that restaurant.
So they'll be building a brand new building,
Yes.
or is it a new building?
Brand new building.
Okay.
It's very attractive building, so I think it'll fit in there very, very nicely.
Any more of these in the Twin Cities metro area that people might have visited, or is this a new concept to the Twin Cities?
I don't think there's any more in this one. I think that we're the first, and I think there might be another city that would be right along with us.
Okay.
But I'm not aware of any that
I haven't
are in
heard
the
of
metro
it.
area now,
Okay.
so I have not dined at it.
Something new to try.
Yes, it certainly will be. Punch Pizza. When Punch Pizza was certainly on the news during the president's speech, and Punch Pizza will be taking a space that formerly was occupied with Qdoba. It's a very, very attractive building that they're going to be. It's an existing facility, but they'll be renovating the inside and outside. And the renovation of the exterior is very attractive, and I think that's going to really add nicely to the shops at Arbor Lakes. So we welcome that here. We have just a couple other things. The Sky at Arbor Lakes, that apartment project continues to move along very, very nicely. Botno Ridge, which is a affordable housing project of 50 units, phase 1, is moving along very well. This spring we will start construction of Silvercrest project, Silver Creek on Main, which is a roughly 380 unit senior housing development. That one will have a wellness center as part of it, but it'll be kind of unique in a way that any Maple Grove resident that's 55 and over can use that wellness center. Do not have to be a resident of the Silver Creek on Main, but they'll be able to use that center. In addition, that wellness center is going to have what they call a hydro pool. Eden Prairie has one, and they're developed there now. The Vikings use it before games or after games, whatever, to get the kinks out. And so the city will be partnering up with Silvercrest for the use of that as well.
Very nice.
So you don't have to be a resident of the development itself, but you have to be 55 and over. We were a little concerned if something like this would compete with Lifetime, which is right across the street. We did a lot of research on that, and we have found that typically people that are 55 and over like to work out in areas where others are 55 and over, 60, 70.
Understandable.
Not necessarily to some youngster that's 30 years old just
Going
pumping away on the
10
treadmill.
times as fast as I am, right?
Right, that's for sure. And so
Right.
we looked forward to working out something with them.
Very
And so,
good.
Caribou and Brugger's Bagels, they're going to be going out on County Road 30. We just have some remodeling projects that take place, which seems to be just a constant constant flow of remodeling projects. We're finding in many cases, and even when it comes to residential, that if you, rather than build a new home, people are now remodeling. And the same with businesses. They're, rather than maybe build a brand new facility, they're adding on or they're doing a total facelift in and out of their existing business. So we're real happy with that. So just a number of projects that are going to be coming along. We've already issued a certificate of occupancy for Rusty Taco, Herbert and Gerbert's, Solo Salon, Firehouse Subs, FedEx, that's that large project. So far just in January alone, we issued 90 building permits. So we're running ahead of last year. And considering January was a very cold month.
True.
So we're happy to be issued that number of building permits.
Excellent kickoff to the year.
Yes, sure
and
is.
I did have the opportunity to inform Al of something
Yes.
before the program here. He
did
missed
not
the
know.
day of Channel 12 News, and I watched it, and I
Shame
found
on me.
out that the world market is coming back, which
Yes.
is very nice for the city to hear. And again,
It is.
kind of one of those that it's been 5 years, and they left, and now they're back. And
Yep.
I think the city's scratching their head a little bit, and maybe the business scratching their head a little bit.
Well, that's true. You and Channel 12 scooped me on that one. I was not even aware that.
Once a year, we get to do that.
You're right. Yeah. We did get a call from one of the World Market vice presidents. I think it was maybe, I don't know, October, November, or something like that of last year, and he was saying, "Why did we leave?" Because all the good things that are happening in Maple Grove, and we're essentially saying, "Well, don't ask us. You guys,
Right.
you guys
Wasn't our decision."
No, you made the decision." So, but yeah, we're happy to hear the World Market is coming back. That's a large space that's been sitting there idle for some time. It will pose some parking issues. There's no doubt about that, because a lot of activity, with Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all the other businesses are right in that particular area. And so there will be some continued parking issues, no doubt. But we're glad to see that large space that's been vacant for a while filled up. So.
Excellent. All right, to the council meeting then, or you have a couple other items to touch on?
Well, just a couple other items. Our foreclosure list, we're down to about 134 now. It just keeps dropping and dropping. And so those that are foreclosed upon, they get turned over very, very quickly. So the Hickory Ridge, we're very pleased. There's this 32-unit affordable housing development that was built in 1982 just in the Bass Lake area. And that's been acquired by a group called the Twin City Housing Development Corporation. They are going to go in and totally renovate the exterior, the interior, everything. And we're thrilled with that, because that is, that's going to be a great thing, because that particular development has been in disrepair for a number of years. And so we're real happy that Twin City Housing Corporation is going to come in and do a lot of, like I say, a facelift in and out. And the residents there are certainly thrilled as well. So
I would guess so.
They've been very patient. They've waited a long time. The Student Art Show is coming up during the month of March. We'll have art from students in our government center on the entire first floor there. I tell you, some of those students are fantastic. The art that they can do is just mind-boggling, and so we just love to put that stuff up, because.
So will that be up all throughout the month, you said,
Yes.
and people can come in during regular
Yes.
city hall hours and take
Right.
a look at it?
Be up all through the month of March. We had a couple of business adjustments. Dickey's Barbecue, which is located in the Fountains, is closing. So we're sorry to see that. And then after 45 years of service, Sundance Bowl and restaurant is closed. And that's a shame. Been there for so long.
Right.
And a lot of our residents, use the golf course, they use the restaurant there, everything. And so I'm not certain what the future is. My thought is that a residential developer may come along and turn that into a large residential development, unless I can find a new owner that would come in and just pick up where Sundance left off. So the City of Maple Grove is been approved by the American Heart Association as a fit-friendly work site. and we received a certification of that at the gold level. And that means that we have programs like our wellness program. We have defibrillators in all parts, and so all of our programs that we have designed to help our employees be healthier, and then also just to protect our visitors to our building as well. So we're very, very pleased with that. We continue to work on several large development projects, and hopefully there's 3 large ones that we've been spending a lot of time working on. If those 3 become reality, and we certainly hope they will, I mean, they're projects that are a combination of office, research and development, marketing, distribution. If those 3 come together, we're looking at well over 900 new jobs to the city. And so we're hoping that it will take place. One project itself will be around $70 million, and so it's just great to see those kind of projects knocking on our door, and so hopefully we'll be successful.
And most of those in the area of the gravel mine downtown area, or some by the Wedgwood area as well, if I'm remembering back to some that we've talked about?
All 3 of them are looking at the last quadrant of Arbor Lakes there with the land that Opus just purchased. They're looking at that as well as the land east of Costco.
Okay.
So we're I mean, if they come together, it'd be fantastic. It'd be just absolutely dynamite. So that was it. The regular council meeting was really non-eventful. Prior to the regular council meeting, we did have a special meeting, and that was to hear allegations against a business called Hawaiian Tan. They're now closed, but Hawaiian Tan, they were operating beyond the curfew hours. Their massage people in there were not licensed, and there was allegations of prostitution. And so the council did hold a special meeting. We presented our factual information. The business owner was there, did not dispute, other than the fact that he was not aware of the 10 p.m. closing, was not aware that his massage folks needed a license, and was not aware that there was alleged prostitution. But he accepted his medicine, so we have denied the business license, and so that we had to deal with that. But he didn't argue a bit. He just took his punishment and realized that there was certainly a mix-up and bad decisions, and so we move on.
Okay.
The regular council meeting itself, we had a couple of interesting things. Gentleman by the name of Steve Courtney, and then Marilyn Arnlin, who's actually our deputy fire marshal. We appointed them to the Arbor Committee, and Marilyn is a master gardener. She is.
I did not know that.
She loves gardening, and so both of them will be just great participants with our planning commission. We did issue gravel mining area permits. Every year the mining operators come in and apply for new areas that they're going to be mining. There's a gravel mining area plan that shows the elevations, and so when they finish mining out an area, it shows how they need to reclaim it, and that's all at their expense. And then there's a fee that the city collects as a licensing fee, and so we took care of those. We approved a special event permit for Maple Grove Days, even though...
Oh, wait a second.
July,
it's February?
right. It's July 9 to the 13, but we did approve a special event permit for that. So but it comes faster than we realize.
That's
It
right.
just
So
zips along.
another time to mention opportunity for people to volunteer if they're interested in helping
yes.
out Maple Grove Community Organization. I suppose Deb Syrie, the person people can get a hold of and put
Certainly
their name in
is.
as to how they can help out.
Absolutely right, because they need hundreds of volunteers. It's a huge event every year, as you folks know.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm sure that you'll be handling the parade, and I'll be there to help narrate if they want me to, and my assumption is that former Mayor Burlingame will also narrate like we have in the past. So we did have a brief presentation from Jim Westrom, who's the financial officer for the Wayzata School District. They're going to be having a bond issue coming up. And there's about 1,500 Maple Grove students that go to the Wayzata
Okay.
School District. And so he gave just a brief update on their referendum. One of the nice things that we did is we swore in a new police officer, and she had a lot of fans there, a lot of family there, and a lot of relatives, and so it's great to do that. She's excited, so we're looking forward to having her as one of our officers. The other discussion item, we had two discussion items. One was consideration of a liquor violation in one of our compliance checks that we do periodically. The Courtyard by Marriott, the bartender sold liquor to an underage individual. And the interesting thing is that in the police report, he looked at the license and even told the individual, and then our undercover police officer is sitting right next to him, told the individual that, you're under 21. But he says, I'll serve you anyway. So, no brainer on that one. So, we did have the general manager from the Courtyard was there, apologized profusely for what happened. It's been at least 5 years since they've had a liquor license violation, so this is not something where they're repeat offenders. But that violation will cost them a 2-day suspension and a $2,000 fine. So the other discussion item was our annual community development block grant money.
Okay.
Each year we're allocated so many dollars. I think this year it was $133,000. And then we break it up into different categories. One new Housing for All we helped fund again this year, but one new category was the Twin City Housing Development Corporation, which is the group that's buying Hickory Ridge.
Okay.
We recommended $60,000 be used. Now that's a small part of their overall financial plan, but the big part of that is it shows city support. It gives the lender the thought that, okay, the city is involved and backing this, and so otherwise it's been pretty much the same different agencies that we've funded in the past. The $133,000 may change a little bit in the next few weeks, but the money is allocated to the county by the feds, and then the county distributes it to the various cities.
Okay.
And again, our share was $133,000, and so we do this every year, and I think we've had good success with the programs that we have helped fund. So,
well, part of the emphasis now seems to be going, and I think in past years, towards the housing seems to be a big initiative that the city's seeing these funds are maybe best used in.
Absolutely right. Yes, that's for sure. We're limited. We do have to provide a certain percentage to social service programs, and then we're limited as to the maximum percent that we can provide to others, including the housing, things like that. So, but we've used our CDBG funds, I think, very, very wisely over the years, and so this is just another example. So,
just one quick question back to the liquor violation. So there was only one. And I know that has been somewhat of a goal of the city is to get that number down to certainly low single digits or zero. So this is a big accomplishment, if you will.
Very good point. I'm glad you mentioned that because, yes, there have been times in the past where we've had 6, 8, 10. I think one year we might have had 12, and that was a disaster. But since then, we have implemented mandatory liquor compliance training where managers and staff of places that are serving liquor do have to come and participate in. And so I think that's really, really helped us. And so, yes, we just had one violation.
Fantastic.
And so it's a good feeling. It'd be nice to get to zero. I don't think we've ever gotten to zero, but we're hoping to.
With the human element in some of these exchanges, as you mentioned earlier, it's just tough with all the rules that you put on the books and all the procedures that a business may be having.
It is.
Human error can happen.
Well, it does, but sometimes it's such foolishness, like the like the courtyard where the bartender looks at it and acknowledges, that the individual is under 21, but then serves anyway. The Minnesota license, driver's license, it's so obvious if you're under 21 that I don't know how people can miss it. But in many cases, the server is in a hurry. The business may be booming and they're just rushing and they're not just taking proper procedure. And in many cases, it's human error. A number of our businesses are going to electronic readers where you have to swipe the driver's license before an order can be put in. And that's worked out very well. And so I think eventually probably all of our businesses that serve a lot of liquor are going to go to something like that. So it's just the way to go. So, but it's a $2,000 fine, and for the first offense, if it's the first time in 3 years or greater, then it's a $2,000 fine and 2-day suspension. So, and we work with the business to determine which days are that they will be closed. In the case of courtyard, they're not a huge volume of serving liquor, but nevertheless, they will have to.
Inconvenience for the guests that come those particular days.
For sure.
But certainly technology sounds like it's helping out. And the other would be with the number of establishments that you have in Maple Grove that serve liquor, again, this is a big accomplishment because your number compared to other cities that surround you has to be much bigger as far as the number of retail places.
It really is. I mean, we have a lot of restaurants and a lot of on sale and off sale, and so yes, it can be challenging, but again, the compliance training has really paid off. And in the past, we've brought in individuals to do that for us. Our staff and our police department staff are now trained enough that they can do the compliance training, and it is mandatory. So if somebody comes in and says they want to get a liquor license, they will not get a liquor license until they have participated in the training program. So,
okay, very good.
One other item was we set a special city council meeting for 6 o'clock on February 18. Now, that's a Tuesday. Monday is a holiday, so the next council meeting will be on a Tuesday. Purpose of that, these special meetings, is to update the city council on a variety of things. We've got some administration items that I want to review with them. We've got some engineering items. The council does not take any formal action at these special meetings. It's more of a chance for staff to give them an update as to what's happening, get feedback from the council, make sure we're on the right path. So anyway, that is set for Tuesday, February 18 at 6 p.m. So it was a smooth meeting. It got over 8:05, and so considering we had several things on there, like the public hearings, it went well.
Excellent. All right, Al, thank
Another
you
good
very
meeting.
much for the update. And as Al mentioned, that next meeting is on the 18th, the Tuesday as opposed to the Monday. Let's show you that information and also contact information for the City of Maple Grove if you would like to find out more about some of the things happening about the Maple Grove Days, which Al is promoting now in the dead of winter, maplegrovemn.gov. The next meeting is on the 18th at 7:30 at the Government Center, 494-6000, the number to call for the Government Center. And our viewer response line, 533-1710. Questions or comments, we will address them on upcoming programs. For Al Madsen, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.